morning, welcome to Nana's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make a coconut jam sponge and I'm going to try and make some pink custard as well. But first of all I'm going to make my coffee first because I need my coffee first thing in the morning. As I showed you last time in my last video, I like my cream in my coffee, but what I do, I make it into a frothy coffee and I'll show you how in a minute. Get this off, put the lid back on, so you don't want to shake it while the lid's off. And then what we do, we put it in and you get a frothy coffee. I made a bit of a mess there, I'll just wipe that up. So there's my frothy coffee. So first of all I'll take a taste of my coffee first. So I'll put that there. So first of all we're going to get the butter. I'm using butter today, and we're going to put the butter in the bowl, and then we're going to use 3 ounces of sugar. I always use a spoon because my dad taught me this one, so I'm going to use 3 ounces of sugar. And then I'm going to mix the sugar and the butter till it's creamy. You could use a mixer with this, but I'm going to try it without a mixer today. Actually, I'm going to put my pinny on because I'll make a mess. Just put my pinny on. And just keep mixing that. So all the sugar's in there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 2 eggs to this. 2 eggs. I took these eggs out of the fridge earlier. And then what we're going to do, we're going to mix it all in till it's a cream. Break the eggs. You know what, I'm going to use a mixer. Might be better. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to slowly give it another stir like this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add the flour. So I'm going to put the flour in here. But I'm going to use mine as my dad taught me. 1, 2, 3, 4 ounces of flour. And then we're going to sieve it up. I'm going to sieve it into the mix. I'm going to sieve the flour into the mix. And then we're going to fold it in. Okay. Fold it in now. I'm going to use the mixer again, so I'll take it away. What I'm going to do, I'm folding the flour into the batter, so it's like a paint. So I'm going to put it in the tray. Around. It's not going to be a very thick paste, it's just I do it in a square pan. So put it into all the corners. And then what we're going to do, we're going to place it in the oven for 20 minutes. And in the meantime, while the cake's being cooked, I'm going to make the custard. Well, I'm going to try and make some pink custard. I know we're supposed to use blancmange, but we can't get blancmange over in Canada, so I'm going to try it with some pink food colouring. So first of all, I'm going to get the custard powder. Two tablespoons in, some sugar. And milk. This annoys me. And we're going to use milk. I'm just going to put a bit of milk in there so we can make it into a paste. I hate this when my husband uses the milk. He always leaves a drop in and never changes the bag. So now I have to open the milk. Only a little snip. Come on, scissors. You don't want a big hole because milk gets everywhere then. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to the stove and I'm going to put the milk in the pan. You don't need a lot of milk. I never measure the milk, I just use my imagination. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mix the custard till it's a paste. So it doesn't have to be, it has to be all mixed in. And then what we're going to do, we're going to transfer it over to the stove. And we're going to put the stove on a low heat and we're going to pour this into there. And then we're going to stir. So what we're doing is making the custard. So what I'm going to do to this custard, I've got some colouring. So I've got pink. So what I'm going to try and do is add a bit of pink colouring to it. Hopefully it might go pink. As you can see, it's pink custard. I'm going to try this one, but if I ever go back to England, I'm going to bring some blancmange back, because that makes great custard. So we're having this on here, and we'll turn it up so it's the big one. And all I'm using is just colouring, pink colouring. Maybe you could use different custard. You make different custard. You maybe make green custard. So in the meantime, how's that's doing, and we'll come back to it. Custard is now thick. So look how thick that is. Pink custard. So what I'm going to do, because the cake's not ready yet, I'm going to transfer it to my bowl. Oh, where is it? I'm going to put it in my Pyrex dish. I'm going to transfer it to the Pyrex dish. Maybe if I added maybe just a little colouring, not a lot. So what I'm going to do, look, we've got pink custard. Well, sort of pink custard. Look, we've got pink custard. So now we're just going to wait for the cake. So in the meantime, I'm going to have a clean up and I'll be back and transfer it to my baking sheet. It's not risen as much as what I wanted it to do, but so we're going to put it on here and we're going to take it off the paper. Hot. Actually, turn it that way. So it's nice and brown. Cake. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this cool for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put strawberry jam on, and I'm going to put some designated coconut. I know it's supposed to be a lot thicker, but it doesn't really matter because it's a cake. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put some jam and we're going to put some coconut on it. But I'm going to put the jam in the microwave for just a couple of seconds because it makes it easy to spread. And remember, we've got our pink custard, so we're going to try that. I'm not really bothered that it's turned out a bit flat because it's the taste what makes a difference, not how big the cake is. So we'll just see what it tastes like. And that's the jam done. So now we're gonna spread the jam on the cake. So what I'm gonna use a pastry brush. So I'm gonna put the jam on the cake. So and make sure it's all in there. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see what's going on. So I've never made this before, so I'm using a spatula thing to get all the jam in there, but then I'm gonna use a knife to spread it all over. You can use different kinds of jam, but I love strawberries. So we're having strawberry jam on my cake. So I'm going to tidy it all up. As you can see, I took a bit just to make sure it tasted good, but it did actually, even though it's thin. But I'm not bothered. So I'm going to add a little bit of jam. So we're going to get all the corners. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add the coconut. So hopefully if I make this again, I hope that it rises a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now, got the coconut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle the coconut on the jam. Right, that's a mess. I think that's enough. So now what I'm going to do is transfer it to the plate. Put this over here. Just wipe up, clean up a little bit. I'll show you the finished product. Tidy it up a little bit. We'll have a funny shape on that one. So now, there's the finished product. Coconut sponge slices. But like I said before, I would have liked them to be a little bit thicker, but as I said, it's first time. So now what we're going to do, we're going to try them. You know what? To say this is my first attempt at making this pudding, I'm not going to be I'm not going to brag or anything. I'd say I'd give it 8 out of 10 because the custard is really nice and the cake nice, but like I said, I'm going to try and find some blancmange and make because this is really pink custard. So, but if you liked it, give me a comment. Like I said, it's just eggs, flour, butter and sugar, but maybe next time I'm going to use margarine because I think butter's too heavy. So anyways, it's so nice. Thank you for watching Nana's Kitchen and hope to see you soon.